Hey, let's talk Uncensored. What is going on? It is your boy. Oh, shit, I don't have my head on. It's your boy. There we go. It's your boy, the Huff, right? And I'm coming at you with another episode of Success Series. This time we have Des Woodruff. And Des Woodruff, as he likes to say, he's a hopeless serial entrepreneur. Now, what does that mean? I got no freaking idea, but he's going to tell you. Now, how I met Des was actually interviewed one of his clients, Ken Shamrock, first UFC champion, UFC Hall of Famer. You know, this guy that's worked with a bunch of celebrities, a bunch of athletes. Also, too, pardon the interruption behind me, but I'm moving. So this is a brand new, very first video with the first STU studio, or I should say the new STU studio. But let me go ahead and turn it over to Des. Why don't you tell us about yourself, Des?
David, congratulations on your move, and I'm happy to be part of the inaugural STO episode for your new place.
There we go. I like it.
Well, anyway, as you said, I'm entrepreneur. I work with the world's most dangerous man, a 4-time heavyweight world champion, UFC Hall of Famer, Ken Shamrock. We've been working together 5 years. And we've owned a couple businesses together, several businesses together, and a couple of them are in the celebrity world. So we deal with celebrities and also entrepreneurs. But I'll tell you, David, if you were to Google me and research me right now on the internet, you're going to see I'm kind of like a radio personality, but I'm on the internet. I have followers from 162 countries that listen to my commentary on stock trading. So you're going to see me in the financial world.
I see it's a lot of Bitcoin. And the funny thing, too, is I seen the other day, you're talking with Beth Chapman, right? Like
yes. Well, yes. She has passed away, but we were working out a deal. Yes.
That is nuts, man. So it's not just the athletes that you deal with. It's like the normal celebrities and everyday like celebrities. If you can even say everyday celebrities, am I right?
Yeah, before I got connected with Shamrock, I didn't have any celebrity in my phone. Not one was in there. Now you would just be shocked on who I'm connected with. But it's funny that in the celebrity world, you're either in or you're a fan, right? You're either in or a fan, and celebrities can hone in on that quickly. It's kind of like if you're a friend only in the dating world, you're either in the friend zone or you're not. Same thing with the fan zone or you're not. And once you're
telling me I gotta slip celebrities roofies. No, I'm kidding. That's a bad joke, but I'm
bad joke
used from it.
Here's the tip, though. Here's the tip. You become buddies with one celebrity. And when I say buddies, really connected, where you're giving value to that person and they trust you and you're kind of working together. If that happens, your world will open up in Celebrityville. Your life will be different.
Absolutely. So you mentioned Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock, absolutely fantastic people. You mentioned a few other people off camera that you've worked with. And something that's super, super unique is, hey, like, what does he actually do? Like, how does he make money? Like, he deals with the retired athletes and stuff like that. Like, you're hopeless serial entrepreneur. That's what you told me. It's like, well, okay, well, tell us about that.
Well, I am an entrepreneur, and all that means is I see opportunity before other people see opportunity. And I act on that opportunity and I make something happen with it. Not everybody's built that way. There's a book called E-Myth by Gerber, like the baby food. But E-Myth says we're broke up into 3 parts: entrepreneur, manager, or technician. You're one of the 3. But I'm very much the entrepreneur, and I do it. So I trade in the stock market. Mm-hmm. I trade. I'm investing heavily in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'm a moderator of the world's largest Facebook group for cryptocurrency.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and we're getting ready to. One of my businesses I own is an education company on trading, and we're doing that with the admin of the world's largest Facebook cryptocurrency thing. But anyway, how I make money with having multiple streams of income coming in from multiple sources, and building on other opportunities that are there.
So is that like licensing out the name and everything like that? Like keeping that cash flow coming after that check's not coming, right?
Yeah, well, that's a great thing that you brought up, that what we have found in the celebrity world, and it's nothing new, you can see it in the news, but after someone retires, after a celebrity retires, they have about a 5-year window that financial hardship comes in. And when that financial hardship hits, it's hard, right? So depression, substance abuse, suicide, bad things happen, and we see it all the time in the news. So what a celebrity has to do is they have to reinvent themselves. And they have to find a way to monetize their fan base, and outside of how they were doing it before. Like Ken, he was in a pretty dangerous sport, right? I mean, you're in MMA and pro wrestling. It's highly demanding physically.
That's where I remember him from, was the pro wrestling with the red trunks on and World's Most Dangerous Man. And when I had the opportunity, and it's funny because that's actually how we got introduced. Like, I was looking up Reno because it's the most god-awful city in the world. Let's be honest here. So close to hell you can see sparks. I'm dead serious. Look up Reno on maps and you'll see sparks right next to it. Like, I'm not joking, guys.
Literally, yeah.
So Reno's god-awful, but I seen Ken Shamrock there. I'm like, wait a second. I remember this dude. Like, this dude is amazing. And that's actually how you and I got connected. Back in February. And, actually connected with him on Facebook, his business page, as well as his personal page and stuff. And he was like, hey, man, reach out to Des. Des will set it up. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And then, I shot him an email. I shot you an email and wasn't happy with the response. So I was like, hey, man, I'm going to find him on Facebook too. So I found you on Facebook, and here we are.
Right. Super cool.
So what, you mentioned kind of licensing and stuff. What were you doing like before you started working with celebrities?
Well, I own an education company called Grok Trade. Grok, I'll give you a bit of useless information, David. Mm-hmm. Grok means to know something so well that you have an intuitive understanding of it.
I said Grok, right?
Yeah.
That's what keeps popping up in the Zoom.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Grok Trade. I have an education company that people come in to learn how to trade stocks and cryptocurrency and stuff. So I've been doing that for 12 years. But I own a couple other businesses. Like Ken and I, we own, like you saw a licensing deal with Pocket Shot. We have another licensing deal that we're doing with and I didn't even know about this. Maybe you've heard of it, but it's called K-Tape. It's an athletic tape.
Oh, it's yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, yep, totally get it. Yeah.
Well, there's a company coming out it's a CBD oil infused K-Tape, and they're getting ready to make this a big deal, right? Mm-hmm. And so we just struck a deal with Falcon Technologies to license his name out for that also.
The CBD, that's super huge in the MMA. You got the Diaz brothers doing it. Like the I think it was I can't remember which one, but his younger Diaz brother, he actually got flagged by the UFC because he was hitting a CBD vape pen during the press conference, right? Right,
did. Can't talk too much on it. But CBD, and it's a controversy because CBD isn't the same thing that you're getting from THC, like with the marijuana, where you're getting high off of it.
You don't get the happy huff,
right? You don't get the happy puff, but it still registers. Not all of them, but some of the CBD oils do come up in drug tests.
Yeah, but it's not too much. The only thing that people don't realize about THC is the body naturally produces it, and also it's fat soluble. So if you're a fat ass, you're in bigger hurt. So pretty much like method of the story and method of the madness, it's just work out and you'll be fine, right? But so you mentioned kind of what you're doing beforehand. You're trading stocks on an education company. How did you first meet Ken, and how did you first get into working with celebrities? All right.
So Ken, which he may have mentioned with you or may not have, but he has a 501c3. It's a nonprofit. It's a ministry. He shows up at our church, and you would never think the world's most dangerous man would show up to a church, right?
Church that you're a member of, or church that you're an active part of leadership of?
Yeah, no, I'm a member of a church. So, so Shamrock showing up, and I thought, you got to be kidding me. Ken Shamrock is showing up to a church to talk. So I raised my hand. I said, you know what? I'll chauffeur him around. I'll get him from point A to point B. No one has to worry about it. I'll handle that. And that allowed me to get close to him. And that was how it all started. So he and I were in the car, and I just started asking him questions because I'm geeking out that I got Shamrock next to me. And I'm just inquisitive about business in general. So I'm saying, how do you monetize your fan base? What do you do now that you're semi-retired to bring in income? Are you licensing? What are you doing, right? Well, that's when he said, "Man, guy, I need somebody like you." So that opened up an opportunity. He wasn't on social media yet. He didn't have a website up yet. So I helped him get all that stuff going just 5 years ago. So he got a late start.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. So you being this just natural entrepreneur, like, hey man, like this is opportunity, and you like rose your hand and like, hey, this is gonna be awkward and be uncomfortable, but I'm gonna do it anyways, and you jumped at it, and that's absolutely nuts. So, funny thing about you and Ken Shamrock is one of my favorite people in the world, Ryan Stewman of HardcoreCloser.com. He, very early in his career, he's working with Ken Shamrock, and I actually told him, hey man, like you've done so much for my life, like a lot of my career is because of you, and I actually got a chance to interview Ken, and it took me back to like when I first seen that, and he was like, hey man, tell Des I said hi. I was like, dude, that's super, super dope.
Yeah, man. Stewman is a rock star. In one thing that I took away from meeting him, spending some time with him, was he is highly intelligent. And not that you wouldn't think otherwise.
Kind of like me, where I kind of play off the, hey, I got this 9th grade education. I'm kind of
right.
freaking book addict, and
he was extremely witty, sharp, highly intelligent, and I think we did a podcast with him also, which is fun.
That is awesome. So what are some plans that you got for the future, and some like big things you got going on? Like anything huge and stuff? No, you're doing the education thing, you're doing cryptocurrency, you're doing the managing and kind of furthering the celebrities in their careers. Like what else you got in the works?
Yeah. Well, you'll find this interesting. One of the businesses we own is CE3. C stands for celebrity, E stands for entrepreneur, and 3 means there's a hidden third person, but CE3.co. Not com, but .co. CE3 is a company where we put celebrities with entrepreneurs so they can do what Ken and I have done. And, I'll share this with you. And no one knows this, but I'll share it with you. We've brought in $6 million, Ken and I have, in the last 5 years of working together that we wouldn't have had otherwise if we weren't working together. So it took a celebrity and an entrepreneur working together to bring in that extra money. So the CE3.co, that site puts together celebrities. So I work with a lot of celebrities through that one. My problem, David, is this. My problem is I can't find entrepreneurs. I can find the celebrities, can't find entrepreneurs who are true entrepreneurs.
Oh, you got a bunch of entrepreneurs listening to this, man.
I hope so. And here, I got a question. And this is the question that I pose to everybody. And there's a vetting process like on that website. I ask this one question, and it really helps me get down the path on if a person is a true entrepreneur or not. Everybody can own a business, but are you an entrepreneur? The question is this. How did you hustle? How did you make money as a kid when you were in grade school?
I sold cigarettes on the playground in 5th grade. But we probably shouldn't. Well, no, it's just law of limitations. I'm totally safe. But, I did that and sold some other stuff that I probably shouldn't have sold. And then actually back in 2003, I was selling in forums, which is kind of social media before social media, bodybuild.com and allthemist.com and stuff like that, the various trade-offs. I was just super jacked up 17-year-old, and people are like, hey, man, how do you get results? Well, if you want the secret, I'll tell you. So pretty much like I'm doing now.
Knowing what you just told me right now, David, chances would be pretty good you'd make it to the vetting process. And then I would go to you and we'd say, hey, what sports are you interested in? You would say MMA or pro wrestling or whatever it is. I would find somebody who was a celebrity in your eyes, somebody who your jaw would hit the floor, your eyes would pop if they walked in the door right now. If they're a celebrity in your eyes in a big, big way, I match you guys together. And then from there, you guys start working together.
And that's that extra motivation too. Like that's that, oh man, dude, like I'm about to meet my idol. Like I remember when I met Ken, like I was going into like we were supposed to meet at the gym, and I go and I meet him at the gym, and
that's right.
He looks at me and he's like, hey man, I just live like a mile away from here. You just want to go to my house? I'm like, wait, what? Like we go to your house? And then it's funny because if you look him up on Facebook, David Huffman, It's actually me and Ken hanging on to, I say it's the first UFC championship belt, but I believe it's actually the second one. I believe the first one's still in trophy case behind me, but it's us like holding it up, and it's just super, super cool. It's just like jaw drop, like you're saying.
Dope. Yeah. Yeah, that is super cool. Well, we have this other business that we struck and we're down the path on, and it's BGCA. People think it's Boys and Girls Club of America, bgca.com. It's not. It's bgca.co, take off the M. And basically what we do is we make mini celebrities out of people in their demographic. So you're in Reno, right?
No, I was in Reno, so I actually just moved to Virginia. I'm over here on the East Coast. Yeah, I'm back to where life makes sense.
Got it. Well, so let's take you, David. Let's say you want to become a micro celebrity in your area there. We bring you through a process where you have a radio station and you're live on the radio, and you repurpose that content from the radio for your podcast and for your online social media. And so it's an all-encompassing thing. But because you're on the radio, you get to interview everybody. Chief of police, professional athletes in the area. Everybody says yes to radio interviews. Not everybody says yes to podcast interviews. So we have that going too. So we have a couple businesses, but you asked what's coming up next. We have something coming up next. I don't know when this will post. It may be after our big announcement, but it's going to break on AP News, Associated Press. It's a big, big release that's coming out that everybody will hear.
I like it. So you mentioned the cryptocurrency, and you mentioned a lot of investing. I know that a lot of the salespeople I'm connected with, a lot of the entrepreneurs I'm connected with, obviously we like money, we like investing, we like getting returns. You got any tips for investing? Any tips for, stuff on those lines, cryptocurrencies, like non-official, not trying to get you sued by the whatever company regulates you, but, just off the record, hey, this is some stuff I've had success with?
I'll give you something, and I can say this safely because I'm not a licensed broker. I don't have my Series 6, 7, 65. I don't have any of those on purpose. I'm an educator, and this is for education purposes only. All right. So this is what I'll say. And this is what's of great interest. The reason I'm loading up on Bitcoin, and I have been loading up on Bitcoin, is Bitcoin, cryptocurrency is next in future currency. It is happening. We do it already. I mean, if you, right now, here's my wallet. I don't have any cash in it. The reason I don't have cash is because who carries cash anymore? Very seldom. If you were to pull out your wallet right now, chances are you don't have cash in it.
We use or a server or a drug dealer. I mean, but that's about it, right?
Well, we use the credit cards, right? So all that is a transaction that's done over the internet. It's done over lines, and it's just a digit that takes place. It's a digit, it's a number, it's a transaction that happens. It was non-exchange of money going from one pocket to the other. But it went from one bank to the other, one institution to the other, but it's all through transactions only. My point there is cryptocurrency is just the same way, but it's decentralized, and it can't have inflation because there's a finite number of it. So here's my opinion on it, and why me as a savvy investor, I've been doing it 21 years. I've been trading in the live markets 21 years, investing far longer. I'm 46 now. So I've been investing as long as I had a job. But Bitcoin, there's other coins out there called altcoins, and you can buy all those. But the problem is, I think 99.9% of all cryptocurrency, they're on bubbles. But one of them is not on a bubble. But the question is, which one's not on a bubble? One of them will reign supreme. One of them will be the one that everybody will use, and it will be universal. That is going to happen. And no one can stop it. The feds, no government can stop it. So it's taking place. Now the question is which one? We don't know. But here's what I do know. Bitcoin holds a market share of 33 to 35% of all cryptocurrency. They are the big dogs. Nobody can even touch them when it comes to market share. Because they're the big dogs and nobody else is even close, that's why I'm investing heavily in Bitcoin, because there's only one way Bitcoin can ultimately go, and that's up. But I'm going to give you a bit of information that nobody knows in the regular world. Wall Street bought into Bitcoin. So because it's traded on futures and now it's traded on mutual funds, now that Wall Street's involved, it means it is validated, it's legit, and it's not going away. So Bitcoin is the one that I'm getting into, and I think people should have some measure of exposure in their portfolio.
And Bitcoin's been surging too, hasn't it?
Oh, dude, we were at 3,500, 36, 3,700 just a month ago. I told everybody who follows me, I said, this is a buy point. Buy now. And I bought. I bought at that point. I loaded up. And now it almost hit 14,000 the other day. What'd you say?
So now you're giggling to the bank. You're like, I told you guys. Like I told you.
Yeah, well, a lot of them have already. Like this guy, I just did an interview on my last video. He's at the end of my video, and I interviewed a student. He goes, yeah, his Bitcoin, he made so much, he built 3 offices.
It's actually what I've been looking into is getting into the Bitcoin. So it's funny that you mentioned the fact that, hey, like all these financial transactions, right? Like, and I have my wallet in my pocket too. I'm not going to pull it out because people don't want to see my fat belly when I stand up. But the point is like you're saying that everything is just computer to computer. And I know a lot of my followers, they follow Grant Cardone. He mentions that sell or be sold. Like, cash no longer exists. And actually today I was listening to Robert Kiyosaki video, right? Which is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he mentions like, why are you trying to save your money to wealth when they keep printing money? It doesn't make sense.
Right. Well, you don't know this, but I used to be with Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was with them for several years. I taught
I just learned this.
That's So I taught their stock and option trading.
Okay.
And I also helped them with their curriculum building. Did that for a while. They actually tried to buy my company because I had a website on the site that went #1 on Google. And when that happened, they were like, "Whoa, can we buy you?" And I said, "Sure." And I said this, and they said this, and we didn't have a match, so we walked away from the table. But yeah, I was with them for a long time and helped them do a lot of stuff. But there was a concept, and what you said is spot on. Everybody should read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't read it, it's
book. And Cash Flow Quadrant too, like Cash Flow Quadrant. Sit down, like just like huge.
So David, I'm so glad you said that because you understand this. The quadrant. The problem, the reason I can't find entrepreneurs is because entrepreneurs, if they are true entrepreneurs, they build a business and they get stuck in that business. And now they're self-employed. They never go to a business owner.
Yeah. Well, most people that sit down, they think, hey, I'm a business owner. Like people look at me, I'm a business owner. Like I'm not a business owner. I'm self-employed. Mm-hmm. I worked my ass off. I invested thousands of hours to buy my job so I can make all the money that I can. But guess what? I don't have leverage. I don't have people working for me. I have a system that works for me, but I'm not a business owner. And that's where a lot of people that are entrepreneurs, they get stuck up. Like, they're not familiar with leverage. And that's the secret to the game is leverage, leverage, leverage.
I mean, that's spot on. And it took me a while because all of a sudden everybody wants me, D7, that's my alias I go by D7. Everybody wanted D7 to train them. So when they come in and they wanted training, they wanted me. And the problem was I'm self-employed. So it took me 2 years to find a thoroughbred, somebody I could push out in front. Found them. And now we're 6 years in business now where I have somebody else out in front. And that has worked great. The only reason I could work with a Ken Shamrock, the only reason, David, I could work with him was because I become a business owner. If I wasn't, I wouldn't have the bandwidth to be able to do so.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm stuck at right now with the Sales Talk Uncensored. And I also have the Auto Sales Secrets group on Facebook. And I'm doing so much as a one-man show. It's like I'm spread absolutely thin. So I like to keep this about the commute length, about 20, 30-minute mark, which about where we're at right now. Where can people find you at if they want to look up Des, if they want to find out, hey, man, like what is he doing with Bitcoin? What is he doing with the Ken Shamrocks and celebrities? What is he doing? Where can people find you at?
The best thing to do is go to kenshamrock.com, go to the bottom of the page of kenshamrock.com, and you're going to have my LinkedIn profile right there. And that's how people can connect with me. And in my email is my name, Des Woodruff @gmail, and my Twitter is Des Woodruff on Twitter.
I like it. Super, super simple and all about branding. Well, Sales Talk Uncensored. It's your boys, The Huff, and we're about to log off. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Success Series. Look, if you guys like this, and it doesn't matter what platform you're watching on, YouTube, Facebook, wherever else I post on. So I'm looking at going to Spreaker and a few other options, right? Give this a thumbs up and share this with the people that need to see it. Because bottom line is we can't help people. And both Des and I, we like helping people. We can't help people if we're not shared. Am I right? But I'm out. All right, Des.
Take care.